What's up, brand builder? I'm Mash Bonigala, and welcome to another episode of the Brand Builder Show, where I post daily videos on how to create, build, launch, and market your brand. In this episode, we talk about how to start a t-shirt brand or t-shirt company. The beginning, finding your niche. Before you do anything else, you need to spend time finding your niche. In any business venture, it is important to find a focus for your brand. I cannot stress enough how important this is. You cannot have a vague blanket idea of the product or service you want to sell and hope that it succeeds. The same principle applies to a t-shirt or a hoodie business as well. Finding your niche can be done in a number of ways. What is your passion? Starting with your passion is the best way to start any business, and especially a t-shirt brand. When you're passionate about something, you will love doing what you do and will find the will to keep at it when the going gets tough. Along with making money, one of the main goals of any business venture should be to enjoy yourself and love the business. So, what are you passionate about? What do you love doing? It could be your love for the outdoors, or perhaps your love for fishing. How about baking? Or perhaps you love sci-fi movies or horror films. Maybe you're very interested in astrology and horoscopy. For this video, we will take the niche of Egyptian mythology and explore how one can go about getting that off the ground. What can be different and stand out? Products that are different and stand out from the crowd can form a niche. Have you ever seen a t-shirt that had a very different design or message and felt like you wanted one for yourself? Chances are that brand intentionally went after a satire, humor, or some other off-the-wall idea. Being part of something. Do you love being part of something? Most people do. That is why people obsess over sports teams, music brands, or rock stars, local or global events, and so on. T-shirts that target these focused niches will do well. When people feel like they belong to a group, usually they tend to want to wear items that are branded with the cause of that belonging. Understanding your market and your buyer. First, the market. Once you've drawn up a list of passions you want to explore, it is time to understand the market for each of the ideas. Questions such as market size, the type of buyer personas in that market, the buying power, competition, and the overall viability of the market are very important. Of all these questions, I would begin with competition. This is the surest way to find out if the niche you have in mind is indeed niche. It is okay to have other players in the niche as long as they're not really in the exact same context. For example, in our case, one of the niche ideas has been derived from my passion for ancient Egypt and Egyptian mythology. So, was t-shirts with emblems of ancient Egyptian symbolism, including gods, cartouches, and so on. To determine if this niche has a market that would support the kind of sales I plan to have and the kind of growth I would want for my brand, I started Googling about t-shirt designs for Egypt, t-shirt designs, Egyptian mythology, and using keywords like that. I found a few competitors, which was a good sign. I would not want to start off on a business that had no competitors because that means the market segment is really small. To access the competition, essentially, we are looking at the following steps. Determine your direct competitors. Determine your indirect competitors. And determine your future potential competitors. Then rate your competitors and your own brand. Perform a SWOT analysis. Create a competitive positioning strategy. There are other videos that I've done on each of these topics, and I cannot go too much into the details of each of those steps in this particular video. the buyer. Once you have explored the competition and understood the landscape of that particular market segment, once you have explored the competition and understood the landscape of that segment and know how your competition is doing, it is time to understand your buyer. Creating a buyer persona is fundamental to any brand building process. Without understanding who your buyers are, you will be sailing without a rudder. To understand your buyers, you need to understand their buying journey and how your product can insert itself into that journey. For our Egyptian mythology market segment, we would be targeting people interested in ancient mythology, the various gods and goddesses, pharaohs, pyramids, travel to Egypt, and so on. As you watch this, you might be thinking, what a narrow market. How many people would be there, would be interested in these things? Let alone the ones who would be buying Egyptian stuff. You'd be surprised. There are literally millions of people around the world interested in ancient Egyptian mythology. This is evidenced by the travel sector, the number of documentaries on pharaohs, pyramids, and ancient Egyptian gods on television, the number of books and films, and so on. This is the power of the niche. If I wanted to sell 1,000 t-shirts a month as a primary goal, I don't need the entire population of the US or the UK to be interested in my product. I just need to target a small segment of people who are passionate about the niche that my business represents. It'll be easy to identify them. It'll be easy to market to them. And ultimately, it'll be easy to sell to them. Using this information and research into buyer profiles, I would create a buyer persona. There is a separate video that I did on how to create buyer personas. Finding the brand story. Once you've studied the market and the buyer persona, we use that information to craft a brand story. Brands without a story will struggle to connect with their target audience and to be successful. Most t-shirt companies start out with just the goal of selling t-shirts and making money. That is not a bad plan, but to create impact and to build a robust brand, you need more than the desire to make money. You need to have a story. A brand story creates an emotional connection with the buyer. In our case, the brand story I would come up with would do with the magic and the awe of ancient Egyptian mythology and how the ones who love it do so because of the mystery and aura. This kind of story would also lead me to create other brand experiences that we will cover later on in this video. This brand story would help me come up with marketing campaigns. It would help me craft a message that would appeal to the target market. Validating your idea. Once you have a brand story, you should spend a little time trying to validate the idea. You can conduct a poll. You could maybe even try and see how people would react on your social media channels. If you do not have an online presence, then it may take a little more effort to validate your idea. Start with friends and family. A better alternative would be to reach out to industry influencers on Twitter or Instagram and ask them what they think of this idea or venture. A lot of them may ignore your request, but you may get back a few responses that will be of great value. If you find validating your brand story and idea difficult at this stage, you could postpone this step to a little later when you have a few t-shirts in hand and are able to show them to people and ask them if they would buy them. Creating your brand identity. A lot of entrepreneurs may actually do this as a last step before marketing. They usually start with design ideas for the t-shirts, which is not a bad way to do it. If you already have ideas for designs, then that's fine. You can still go ahead and work on your brand identity before you start implementing the designs for the t-shirts. Having a strong brand identity from the get-go is a great idea because the identity will influence the decisions you make for your brand building. A robust and well thought out brand identity would actually give you ideas on how best to tell your brand story through your t-shirts and through the designs. It will also make it easy for you to have a structured path on which to move forward in building the new business. At the very least, for a clothing brand, you would need a primary logo design, a secondary brand mark, and an official brand pattern. Creating the t-shirt designs. Now we come to the meaty part of starting your t-shirt brand company. As I said earlier, most entrepreneurs start with the t-shirt designs and then work backwards to build a company around them. That is absolutely fine. There is no right or wrong way to do this, as long as all the steps are done in the proper order. If you do not have any ideas for designs, then you would benefit hugely from what I'm about to tell you. Even if you have designs in mind or on paper, what I'm about to tell you will still have value and would enhance and streamline your designs. I give some examples of types of designs that you can have on t-shirts. Now, these are just ideas. Passion-oriented designs. As mentioned before, for the purpose of this video, we have chosen Egyptian mythology as our passion and building a t-shirt brand around it. Here are some awesome looking t-shirt designs based on ancient Egyptian gods and elements. These designs are fresh and unique and they look stunning. It's important to research deep into the design style when tackling a subject that others may already have done so to ensure that your designs are different and unique. Seasonal designs. A great design idea is to take seasonal items and turn them into designs. This could also include seasonal events, festivals, and other important days. In this example, you see designs based on Christmas elements. This would keep your t-shirts fresh and relevant throughout the year. The downside of this is that you will have to create fresh designs every few months and print fresh batches of t-shirts, which may become expensive. Themed pattern designs. You could also create trends with themed patterns that take up all the space on the t-shirt. These kinds of designs would be bright, bold, and eye-catching. The target audience for this type of t-shirt style would have to be well understood, since not everyone would be comfortable with t-shirts having an engulfing design style. Woodcut vintage designs. Woodcut design style is quite appealing, and when you combine that with vintage elements, you may have a winning t-shirt design series. In this example, we've taken World War I imagery, such as officers in uniforms and war scenes, and styled them into woodcut print to create attractive t-shirts. Vintage American sports designs. Vintage American sports memorabilia is a huge market. American sports designs and imagery can sell well. As you can see in this example, you can use vintage typography and authentic photos to create stunning t-shirt designs. Just make sure that you buy licensed photos that can be used in a commercial context. Otherwise, you'll end up in trouble. They should have reprint licenses. Iconic image pattern designs. You can also take very simple elements such as flowers and create iconic patterns that can form the basis for great looking t-shirt designs. In this example, we have created a few different simple flower icons and created patterns out of them. Using pastel colors and flat designs would make these designs more appealing. Hand-drawn designs. One trend that keeps going and being popular is t-shirts with hand-drawn design elements with an artsy and rustic feel to them. In these examples, you can see the hand-drawn elements as well as hand-drawn typography and the rustic and earthy pastel colors used. Again, with this design style, it must align with the buyer profile of your target market. Abstract polygon designs. Another creative trend you can use for your t-shirt designs are abstract polygon shapes. You can also push the envelope and create polygon animals or objects. The interplay of colors and shapes make these designs quite appealing. In these examples, you see one with a very fine polygon print and one with a broader pattern. Astrology or tribal shaman designs. You can also go after niches such as astrology and zodiac systems and create designs that believers would find appealing and can relate to. Customized designs would work well in such markets. In these examples, you can see we took a couple of tribal shaman designs and they look mysterious and beautiful. Of course, a lot more research has to go into designs that you come up with for these kinds of market segments because of potential offense issues. Creating package design. After your product design, the most important and critical component of your t-shirt design business is the package design. Most t-shirt brand owners do not really think about the package design. They place the t-shirts inside of transparent or other generic plastic bags and package them inside a FedEx box or cover them up and then ship them off. A few take the pain of putting their logo on the plastic bags. The bigger t-shirt companies or brands, on the other hand, take great care and treat the outer packaging design as a part of the product design and a chance to create brand loyalty. This is where the personality of the t-shirt brand comes through and adds one more layer of brand experience. They create outstanding package designs. Finding the right supplier. There are 3 ways of getting your t-shirts printed. Screen print your own t-shirts. If you have a little bit of investment space and aptitude, the best way to get your t-shirts created would be to screen print them yourself. You can either do it manually or you can do it using a screen printing machine. Use a t-shirt printing company. You can load your designs to a t-shirt printing online company and bulk order t-shirts to get good per unit prices. These are then shipped to your door, after which you repackage them to ship to your clients. This method could be expensive if you're not ordering in bulk. If you order more than 20 t-shirts of the same design, you will get decent per unit prices. For a lesser number, you may have to shell out more, which in turn will ruin your margins. Use a drop shipping company. If you find it difficult to get your t-shirts from the printing company, repackage them, and then ship it to your customers, the solution might be to go for a drop shipping company. They would not only print your tees, but will also fulfill the shipping to your clients. Some of them even white label the service so that the package would have your branding and logo design. The only downside is that these fulfillment services may be a little expensive and eat into your margins. To fight this, you would need to build a solid brand that enables you to command higher pricing. Marketing your t-shirt brand. Now, I've already done a very detailed video on this topic called A Guide to Marketing Your Clothing Brand. In this video, I'll just briefly explore the essence of that video. It includes these steps. 1. Determining your business goals. Spend time to clearly determine your business goals. The obvious goal may seem like making money, but without a concrete set of goals, you will find it hard to navigate the waters of sales and marketing. Goals can include things like revenue targets, sales targets, community building targets, and more. Number 2, select campaign media. Once you've established your business goals and you have identified the marketing campaign ideas, it is time to select your campaign media. This includes both online and offline media channels. A few media channels include online advertising, email campaigns, organic search, viral campaigns, blogging, and so on. Number 3, identify your target audience. Although you would have already done this step, you will have to reevaluate your audience from the perspective of the media channels you choose as your primary marketing channel. For example, audience on Twitter are different from those on Instagram. Your marketing and messaging must be customized for each channel. 4, competitive positioning. The most critical aspect of your brand is answering the questions, what sets your product, service, and company apart from your competitors? What value do you provide? And how is it different from the alternatives? Make sure you are communicating this differentiation in your marketing campaigns. Number 5, content creation. Strive to create high quality content around your brand. This may include how-to articles, tutorials, videos, podcasts, and more. Remember that you're not just selling t-shirts, you're selling a lifestyle, an idea, a passion. Number 6, online engagement. To be able to build robust sales growth, you need to focus on online engagement. Your followers on the various social media channels should be engaging with your brand. To make that happen, you should be doing all the right things on your channel, creating the experience. Your brand should go beyond just selling t-shirts or hoodies. It should strive to create an experience. People love to be pleasantly surprised by brands. They love the unexpected service. They love quirky experiences that make them smile. This in turn becomes an advertising tool for your company. A great example is the t-shirt company Johnny Cupcakes. Now there's a separate case study and video that I did on Johnny Cupcakes. This brand is unlike any other t-shirt company out there. The physical stores look like bakeries and cupcake shops, complete with ovens and menus. T-shirts are displayed in trays just like you would see cupcakes and pastries in a bakery. Sometimes customers get real cupcakes along with their order of t-shirts. With experiences like that, customers stand outside the Johnny Cupcake stores from early hours just to get their hands on limited editions. When you see these massive lines of customers outside the stores waiting for the doors to open, you're reminded of Apple. Imagine a t-shirt brand having a cult-like status just like Apple. What can you do to create an experience for your customers? If you do not have a physical store, you can still create experiences for your online customers. Perhaps you can include weird and quirky things in your shipments, things that customers do not expect with a t-shirt order and will talk about or Instagram your brand. With some thought, you can surely come up with ideas to create an experience. That is why the brand story is such an important part of your brand building endeavor. The brand story will give you possibilities and ideas. I hope you found this video on starting a t-shirt brand useful. Of course, no single video can do justice to the complex and often difficult job of creating and launching a successful brand. But in this video, I tried to show you the basic steps that are required to get on the path. This video is one of the lessons from my Ultimate Brand Builder course. By completing the course, you will have built a robust and stunning brand that will be ready to attract your target audience and dominate your marketplace. If you have any questions about this episode, please hit me up on Twitter. My handle is @Bonigala. Or leave comments below this video and I will respond. And don't forget to subscribe to the Brand Builder Show channel so that you will be alerted when my next episode comes out. Till my next video, take care.